Hey everyone, welcome to the first edition of Does Your Gacha Suck? Today we are going to be looking at Summoner's War Lost Centuria. Now, Summoner's War Lost Centuria is a PvP card-based battler where you bring 8 of your heroes against 8 of your opponents. They are a real player, and you try to outwit them through clever timing of your skills and counters that are all based on the heroes and the abilities that they do. You guys aren't on the screen. Okay, anyways, doesn't matter. Say hi to YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Okay, guys, let's talk about the good aspects of the game, the bad aspects of the game, and the absolute ugly trash aspects of the game. First of all, I think the app is really smooth. The playback is super fluid. There's no loads or menus or anything anyway. You just jump into games. It reminds me a lot of Epic 7. In the fact that you just play. There have been complaints about lag, that is true. I've experienced a couple battles that were laggy where I would like click something and then it wouldn't happen. But that's been actually pretty rare for me. Connections have generally been pretty solid. No loading. I mean, loading to me is a huge thing. Like the number of clicks it takes to get through menus and stuff, I just find it really frustrating in games. Gameplay. I actually find the gameplay extremely compelling. You jump into a game, you're in there instantly. You have strategic choices to build your team prior to the game. The gameplay, you have direct action to the output, right? Like, you know the mistakes you made, you know the plays that you did really well, you know, oh, I should have brought this to counter this. Like, these are decisions. They showcase themselves in the gameplay. Gameplay's fun, it's quick, choices matter. And you're in and out of a game in 2 minutes, right? Under 2 minutes. To me, this screams a mobile game. Screams a mobile game. Like, this is the game that you're like riding the subway to work and you're like, I got 15 minutes. Here we go. You sit down, you do some stuff, you play for a little bit, then you set it down for a while. I think that's great. Why do I feel like I'm going to get convinced to try this? Oh, we're just talking about the good stuff now. You hold on. Rates, the rates are pretty good, and they've actually gotten a little better with the current update. So legendary rates are 3%. Some of the harder things to get though aren't the legendary characters but the skill stones. But I think they're increasing some ways to get those. Currency generation isn't super fast, but they've just been giving it to us a ton anyways. It's just been like, in the mail, here's currency, here's an event, here's currency. So pulls have come super quick. There's been a lot of them. I feel like the rates have been pretty solid. It doesn't feel painful when you pull or do a few pulls. I think those are the highlights, right? Gameplay, smoothness, and the rates don't feel bad. Oh yeah. You can play as much or a little as you want. With no energy cost. The energy is tied to how you can do the extra summons, but you can continue to play in PvE for rank as much as you want. So if you're like, hey, you know what, I have 45 minutes to play, you can play for 45 minutes. You got a 10-minute train ride, you can play for 10 minutes. The bad. These aren't game-breaking things. These are things that just don't exist. It would be nice to have, right? So off the top, and this might be very Summoners War-esque. There's no PvE. There's very little PvE. There's like 2 modes that you can do PvE. There's no story. You don't know any reason why any of these characters decided to band together and fight. Maybe that story exists in the other Summoners War. I don't know that. There's no compelling reason like why everybody starts to punch each other and why the summoners are mad at each other. I don't know. Unlocking PvE does require certain PvP ranks, and even that PvE is just, it's really lackluster. You kind of beat it once and that's it. It is difficult, right? It may take you some like farming, leveling, intentional team building to beat some of it, but it's nothing to write home about. Dupes. You need a lot of dupes to level characters, which really caters to people that are paying, right? To even legendaries that are 2 per level. You still need a ton of legendaries to level these characters up, and dupes are the only way that you can level characters. With that, the number of dupes, the rate when you think about all of the copies that you need, the 3% rate is a little less appealing then. Legendary Hero Stones are incredibly powerful, super rare. What's the rate? It's like 0.5% only on certain summons. And it's almost impossible to get them. If you do, hey, congrats, you win. Maybe it's not that simple, but it's going to make your characters extremely powerful. Now the really, really bad. That last part is kind of an actual segue into pay to win. This game, for the first probably 70%, 80% of it, is very egalitarian, right? Like anybody can jump in, you can get some summons, you can be competitive, you can put together a team. There is a pay to win PvP wall where you're just going to run up to people that have way more stuff than you, way more options, and you're going to lose. And you can't play your way out of it. You might luck into a counter to their team, but you're not going to be able to play your way out of it. You're just going to lose because they have a bunch of stuff. That's it. That's it. If you're content with playing 70% of the game, doing some stuff and being free to play and being competitive and whatever that point of, that free to play, there'll be a little bleed, right? The free to play and the pay to win will kind of cross commingle a little bit, but there will definitely be a tier that is mostly pay to win. There will be exceptions, right? There'll be the free to play player that was the luckiest person on the planet and with all their free stuff has everything that they could ever want and all the skill stones. That will exist, but 99.9% of free to play players won't be able to be competitive. Player banners. So I think this is like Summoner Wars. There's not a specific player character banner. Like a new character comes out and they're just in the pool. So maybe this is anti pay to win, right? Because nobody's going to go super hard on new banners and characters. They'll just if they get them, they get them. Or maybe it makes it even more pay to win just for super whales that are like, hey, I don't care if it's just the regular pool. I'm going to pull until I get this no matter what and get 27 copies of it too. It's not going to be easy to target what you actually need. That's the ugly. That's it. This game sounds worse than Raid Shadow Legends. I told you, Warford was out here like, man, you're going to sell me on the good. You start with the good and then hit him with the bad. Final thoughts. This is a good side game. This is a good game to dip in, do some summons, get the rush, right? Because the rates are pretty good. The gameplay is compelling. Be competitive, play for little bursts of here and there. This is not a game that I think you want to play long term. There's no story. There's a big pay to win, a free to play gap, right? Whales versus free to play is going to be huge. Oh, now you tell me. Yeah. So generally, I think this is a great side game, great to play for a little while, maybe even put down at certain times, come back for different seasons because there will be PvP seasons, and just kind of play it in a very, very casual with low expectations. If you go into it with anything other than that, I think you're going to have to pay a bunch of money. And that's not cool. AFK was a good side game. If you want more play that you have an impact on, so AFK Arena, you just pick it up, you collect your stuff once a day, you do a couple tasks, and that's it. But you don't have any impact really on the gameplay besides this is the team I chose and this is where I put them in their formation. This you actually have gameplay that's decent, gameplay that's pretty good, that feels impactful based on what you choose and the actions during the game. It's not just throw it in there and auto. Final verdict, total pay to win a game, but still okay for a little dabbling. So let me know what you like or dislike about this game in the comments below. As always, you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lichbitz. So I plan on doing more of these. Some of them will be new games. Some of them will be revisiting old games that, 1, 2, 3, 4 years in, seeing how they hold up and seeing where they fit in the current landscape of gacha games. If there's anything that you want me to take a look at, feel free to let me know, and we'll see you next time.